Hello everyone, welcome to the Green Man channel. So in my second album review of the weekend, I'm tackling the latest release from Converge. This is a collaborative effort with Chelsea Wolfe and it's called Bloodmoon 1. It was released yesterday on Epitaph Records and it's 59 minutes and 11 tracks. And this album is a pretty big diversion, I think, from anything else I've certainly heard from Converge, even from their more recent effort, which was the Dusk in Us, released 4 years ago, I think, in 2017. And you have albums like Jane Doe again, which sound really quite different from what we get here on Bloodmoon. This is an expansive, pretty conscious decision, I think, by Converge to try something very different from anything maybe that they've done before. Does it pay off? Well, for me, in spite of the change in direction, I really enjoyed this album, and it may be because it draws on different influences that I enjoy. I'm also a big fan of Chelsea Wolfe. I think she has a fantastic vocal range and is used well in this album too, and her vocals are always enhancing the songs in each song that she is singing in here. The opening track, so to start with more of a track breakdown, the opening track, Bloodmoon, has a very doom metal style to it actually. It's much slower tempo than maybe your average Converge track. Pretty slow and crushing, but those harsh vocals are very much present. And towards the end you get really agonised screams actually, which from Chelsea I think, which just add a completely, really dramatic finish to the song. It's a really good climax to the song, and I think adds something different and new and makes you wonder what else is going to come on this album. You think, God, is this going to be a doom metal sort of a Converge doom style of album here that we're going to get? And I was quite interested to see what else we had to come. Viscera of Men again, quite a heavy track, but with some nice light vocal clean harmonies in the middle of it with an acoustic section. Coil was where the album turned a little bit more in another direction, I thought, but again Chelsea's voice really good here, showing I think off her lower range of vocals quite well, as I recall here, and the guitars on this song are really good as well. Really enjoyed those, and it's another great track. And yes, it was different from the first two tracks, very different from the first two tracks, but still really, really strong. Flower Moon was quite psychedelic, I thought, and reminded me a bit of something I might hear from kind of late 60s, early 70s psychedelic era, but nonetheless, still, again, a strong track. I really enjoyed Lord of Liars. Again, you know, Chelsea changes her style a little bit here to go a bit higher, I think, on this song, but then you get really interesting King Crimson style guitar passages, I thought, on this as well. I think this might be a bit of Neurosis coming through, because I believe Scott Von Till featured on here, so as another contributor to this album coming in, and again giving it another different element, another different flavour. Fade Forever, maybe one of my slightly less, I mean, I think that might be because I just wasn't as keen on the style they went for in that track, but still, again, quite a strong track. Scorpion Sting, one of those kind of songs that felt like it could befit one of Chelsea's albums, actually quite slow, but her vocals are really, really good. You get those nice open chords to give her the space, I think, to express them really well. One of my favourite songs on this album and of this year was actually Crimson Stone towards the end. It has that really good build up. It's probably one of the more accessible kind of songs, and it's very distinctive coming towards the end of the album. It's a little different perhaps from anything else on the album, but as an individual piece, I really loved Crimson Stone. I thought it was brilliant. And in Blood Dawn, it's a nice finish. Again, I think making good use of Chelsea Wolfe's vocals. And the album taken as a whole, for many, might seem a bit bewildering because it has so many different styles. And, you know, it's like a melting pot of, these different like musical subgenres, if you like, at times. But there's nothing wrong with that in terms of what I think you have as a final output, which is just a really, taking each of these songs perhaps on their own, there is nothing bad here. And for me, actually personally, I really enjoyed the diverse journey that you get taken on, and I would go to this album, I think, many more times and still take a lot away from it, and still think there's more I can go back to later on. So I'm giving this album is going to get a 9 out of 10. The first, in a little while on the channel, I may have given an EP a 9 out of 10 actually not long ago, but it feels like a little while since I've given a 9 out of 10. I'm going to give this album a 9 out of 10. As I say, even though this might not be so much for you if you're not one that enjoys kind of eclectic sounds or styles on here, but I still think it's great. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this album review. Do feel free to drop in the comments what you thought about this album, whether you agree or disagree with anything I've been saying. I will also be carrying on with the Wheel of Time videos, of course, later this, probably another 1 or 2 this weekend. So look out for those. Otherwise, take care everybody. Bye for now.